competitive price advantage for most cities, and obviously for all cities, the real big challenge of trying to analyze and compare bid specifications when you have one vendor, his 150 pages here, and we got another guy, his is another 150 pages, and you're trying to compare them. It takes days and days and days and days, and it's really, the consortium thing is taking over. And I can minister, I think 19 out of 20 trucks delivered in the state of Minnesota are through some consortium, Sourcewell or HGC. Any other questions? I've talked a lot here, I think. But that is our pricing until approximately, the middle of the month. And at this point, if you were to sign the contract, that's all. There is no contract. They use purchase orders is what the consortium uses. So if you sign the purchase order, it's a deal. There is no further paperwork. You're certainly free to visit with the people at Sourcewell if there's any questions about their part of it. The only other paperwork would come from, if we were the successful bidder, okay, we would do the pre-construction meeting, and you guys would get copies of that stuff in a final drawing and final spec. If there were any changes up or down, they would be addressed as change order pricing. But lettering and all kinds of things are discussed at this final pre-construction meeting. So those would be some new documents that you would have. If there were any things that change that affect prices, they'd be addressed as change orders individually at that time, and you would choose if you wanted to make any of those changes, and you would know how much those changes would cost. Okay, you would get an invoice when the chassis arrives. If you paid for it, then it's credited. The truck is credited, the chassis portion, and then they'll factor in the discount, and then when the truck is finally completed, we would bill you the 30 days prior to delivery. We would bill you the final, so you'd have time to get organized to arrange for the final payment, and then at that time we work with the fire department to pick out a delivery date that is agreeable to the fire department.
Okay. The one thing I would add, Stan, to that is, once, if you agree to go forward on the truck, once the truck arrives, that's when they'll send you, the info as far as paying the rebate. Okay. They give you 10 business days to do that. Okay, so it's not a long period of time. You'll get it, and they give you 10 business days to decide if you're going to pay that $3,400.
That's something you're going to put on your calendar. We will not talk about it again, because it's truly something between Sourcewell and you. This rebate.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I guess I've never had an agreement with Sourcewell to pay. I've never signed something giving us the rebate. Yeah.
They haven't always offered it. It's something that.
Well, we've gotten a rebate on several other purchases,
okay,
but I've never had any paperwork to do so.
This is a new one for us. We've done several Sourcewell projects, and like out in North Dakota, no rebates, or even over in St. Cloud, there wouldn't. But in this small 5-county area, how long they've been doing it, I don't know. Okay. And I don't know why they would request that. No, this is something you should talk to them about. And if they need some documentation, put it on your calendar somewhere, or, but it's something that is there and available if you want to. Most people are going to turn that down. I put that on my calendar. And so you would pay for the truck in full. The rebate thing would come back to you after the delivery in a form of check from them.
Okay. What is the percentage of getting the price being exactly this, or coming back saying, it went a little higher? This is
the price.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the price until our price increase is enacted, which we're getting very close.
So we're supposed to, we need to get this going so we can save a little.
Yeah, it'd probably be, I don't know, it's about a 4% is what they're saying.
That's pretty big.
It's probably $12,000-$13,000. Something to think about. Anyway.
All right, well, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, any other questions? If not, we're gonna hit the road, I think. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll vote on it here and see what we want to do here.
Okay,
Thank
thanks
you,
a
guys.
lot.
All right, what do you guys think? Somebody wanna make a motion to approve this?
Well, I think the fire department has put in a lot of time, and I would like to make a motion that we accept and sign this purchase agreement.
Okay, motion made by Hutchinson, looking for a second.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Oregon. Any more discussion? All in fa- Oh, go ahead.
Could I?
Go ahead.
With us being at the top end of our budget like that, I would suggest that we pay for the chassis up when it arrives
Right.
for the additional savings.
Well, if we are approving this, and then we really need to get our motion done first, and we can talk about it, but I would say that if we approve it, there's no reason that Lacey can't just cut a check whenever you need it for the chassis, because it's part of the deal.
Mhm.
So you really don't have to come back and ask us again. The only difference would be if it's more money.
Yeah,
But-
and then she can find out about the rebate from Sourcewell.
Yeah.
Have that on there.
That probably is there, I'm sure it's, not gonna be nothing major.
I'll talk to them, I've never had a problem getting it.
Yeah.
I would just like that, you are recommending that we do this with this company as it's sitting before us?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to be clear that that was actually your recommendation. Okay.
Okay, we got two motions, Amy or Hutchinson and O'Regan. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations, you're getting a new truck. Expensive new truck. That'd be nice. All right, the next one is the oil recycling station, East Side Oil with Patty Carlson. Patty, you got the floor.
I have the floor. I have to set all these.
So first off, I'm just gonna a little bit, I had a bunch of oil to get rid of, and I took it to Maytown Chip to see if I could dump it in their oil, they have a recycling, by you guys, right? Maytown,
I mean,
Cass County.
Cass County.
Yeah. Anyways, I was told being I don't live there, I can't dump it in there. So I was frustrated because the only other place to dump it would be Little Falls. And so I got on Bruce, I'm like, let's do this, let's see if we can get this together, we have a place to dump oil. And then, so, it really is not, as you can see, not any cost to the city besides,
Well, actually,
Okay.
I wanted to amend that. I think we should be able to get the rest of the training done.
oh, okay.
No, there is no cost. East Side Oil Company pays for the tank. It's a double wall tank that holds 1,990 gallons. It fits in a parking stall. That's the size of it. It's at tailgate height. The opening on the top, if you look at the pictures of it, it's been modified a couple times throughout the years, but if you look at where it says easy access, there's a cover on top that's on hydraulics. So when they lift it up, it makes that funny noise, but they pour the oil in there, but the larger the opening we find, the less chance to spill. We come and back out this whenever we're called. On the back of the tank, there's a couple of vials. One that is a fill gauge, says quarter full, half full, or whatever. Bruce and I have already talked about that. If you guys would like to do this, they'll start calling us when it's half full, so we can start gauging how long it takes to do that. There's a pay box on the tank. It's 50 cents a filter, $1 per gallon for antifreeze. And there's two barrels next to it. One with the funnel on top is for antifreeze, one with looks like garbage top, it's a swing top, and that's for filters. Anything where the MPCA requires anything like that to be covered at all times. And that's why those have covers at that point in time. We don't keep the money. The city keeps the money. So you need to provide the lock for that. And at least once a week, someone needs to go out and collect that source of money. I guess every town is different. Some bring in hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Some bring in 50. You never know. It's all depending on how you want to support it. Again, you look for sources to pay for the flowers next year. This year, I would say it would help. You're going to need a pad, because I went out and looked at the site. Because it's a double wall, the tank doesn't need to sit on an impervious surface, but the barrels do. And you want something in front of the tank just in case something's spilled. You're far away enough from the water sources, so that's not an issue, but you don't want to risk things like that when you talk about the environment, and that's why we do this. There is a free lease on there. It's actually more for your benefit than ours. It states on there the value of the tank, that we provide the insurance on the tank, not the location, but on the tank. You can't sell it, you can't put a lien on it, we own it. You have 30 days, if this doesn't work out for you, you can just call us up and say, okay, we don't want this anymore. For 30 days, it's because these tanks do get very heavy with oil, so we'd have to have a back truck come out and then a boom truck to come pick it back up again. Let's see. I'm forgetting.
Now, would you correlate with Cass County when you come through here just to pick ours up even if it wasn't full?
What we do, the reason why I accept this particular location, I'm the one that kind of puts, we have like 70 throughout the state of Minnesota. We
Okay.
actually have one in Wadena.
Okay.
We service Morrison counties, but that's their own. We have some on the way, so I look at the route of the truck. So sometimes, you know, we have Browerville and Sauk Center, so if the truck comes up this way and has to come back this way, they're gonna stop.
Okay.
We're required once a month to come and look at the tanks because of, again, a qualification from the MPCA. You guys are required once a month to read the interstitial space.
Okay.
And what happens is that form gets filled out, faxed over to our office, you keep the original on hand. We have it come to our office because the MPCA, they like to come first.
Is it you?
Yeah. And if we're in order, then I've never seen, knock on wood, something that they've ever come out to the site.
Okay.
That could change. It could be, you could be the first. We fill out the paperwork for the MPCA. Any tank that's 500 gallons or more in the state of Minnesota has to be registered with the MPCA. As far as EPA, we fill out a spill prevention plan as well. Once a year, we come out and do training with the staff, and our staff get trained. So if there is a spill, we want to make sure that everybody's aware of it and respond. So 5 gallons is kind of like a limit, but I tell you, 5 gallons on ice looks like a lot.
It's like 100 gallons, yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
But, and what we'll probably do is provide a barrel, either put it on the back of the tank or with Bruce, so you have, you know, like booms or pads or stuff like that. So if there is a spill, you want to contain it right away. And you know, the responsibility is a partnership.
Sure.
You know, we can't be here every day. You guys are here every day. And with that partnership, we're asking you keep the site, help keep it clean. We come out every spring and clean it all up, make sure the signage is ready to go. Those kind of expenses are all on us. You know, our staff will come and service the tank. Yours is snow removal, if there is to be done, calling us when it's half full or whenever you fill, or if people leave in plastic jugs in that trough, do you want to get them out as soon as possible because it's not a garbage dump. One leaves it, the rest leave it.
Yeah.
And that's not an expense that I don't think either one of us wants to have.
Right. Cool.
You mentioned a 15-mile radius, you know.
Oh yeah, there is another law, state law, that any place that sells oil in the state of Minnesota has a display of where to dispose of it. So our staff, it's called a shelf talker. We develop a talker to go out to these places that sell the oil, so they have posting, so they're legal. People know where this is at. We also will put this in the paper at some point too.
So this is nothing that, I mean, we don't need to be excited if somebody from, you know,
No.
20 miles, like
No.
the gal did to me.
Yeah, I think Cass County's, if there's under lock and key, that's their own
Right.
deal. Our tank isn't in Cass. We service Cass,
Okay.
but we don't have a site like this in Cass. Well, for the county,
Right.
but we have some we have public and private relationships. So like, let's see, like Auto Value. It helps generate customer response, so sometimes we have some of them go there, and in return, they take care of it. A lot of cities, a lot of counties, you know, it all depends.
You know, it's a good deal, because what do you do with it? Otherwise, people are dumping it.
Right.
And,
Yeah, it used to be used for, you know, dust control, weed
Yeah.
control, things like that, and when we first started this, mostly at the Brainerd location, Baxter, Brainerd, over by the fire station, stuff like that, they were having problems of people pouring it on the dirt roads and stuff, getting into their water sources in the lakes.
right,
And so that's where we kind of started. Those are all below ground tanks. We don't do those anymore. They're hard to move. It's something, you know, people like to, we were just talking about the school, so the school's now different.
right.
So what do you do if that changes? If this changed or that changed, what do you do?
Yeah.
And so we like the portable. It's 1,990 gallons because then it's below another law.
Okay.
Yeah. But stay away from those.
Cool.
So where was the area?
On the east side of our shop.
Okay.
Just to south of the garage, or the man north of the
Yep.
old office.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Just pour a pad there.
I guess if you promote it to your citizens to help with the donation, again, then you'll have stuff put away for the cement. You know, I mean, you're gonna have an upfront cost, we're not gonna tell that, but I will say that every county has SCORE funds. Don't ask me what it stands for, but, you can apply for a SCORE fund on recycling, and they might actually give you the money for the pad.
Okay. I know we get some for cleanup from the county.
Right. So it's the same thing, that you said this is how much the pad is. I don't know if there's a time frame for SCORE funds to ask for the funds on your particular county.
I don't remember either, but.
They're all kind of different in
Yeah.
how they use their funds.
I was just looking at the 10% money, to see if there's anything on there that we could use on that, but I don't think the pad's not gonna be that costly.
We need to do some cement pads over in the park anyways, we can kind of work it together.
Okay, sure.
The signage, once you guys say yes or no to this, if you say yes, we'll order the signs. They take about 2 weeks. They're fully reflective signs, so if it comes dusk out and headlights go on it, it bounces back. There's a couple signs. One on the front of the tank says pour here. You can't put solvents, antifreeze, gasoline in there. And then on the side it says, News Oil Public Site. This facility is being brought to you by the city of Montney and Eastside Oil Company. That's a pretty big sign. Oddly enough, people will still miss it and say, where is the public site? You know. Right. I think I covered everything.
Sounds good. Does somebody, you have something?
I was just gonna ask Bruce, this is kind of falling into your department. Looks like a little bit of work for you. What's your take on this? You're okay with it?
Yeah, it seems like a win-win to me, I mean, yeah. I don't see, I mean, it's a little bit of paperwork, but it doesn't seem like that's that much. I mean, once a month, right, to report?
Yeah, once a month, but like I said, you wanna go out there at least once a week and to get the money on the pay box. Any damages that's ever happened to a site is when people think that there's a lot of cash in that pay box. It actually costs us more for that box. That box is about $500, and they maybe get, if you take it out all the time, I mean, they don't get very much out of it.
Right.
So, yeah, sometimes those pay boxes are no fun.
There's things to help with that.
Yeah.
We can do to make it help. So,
I think it'd be a good deal.
yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
I'd like to see it, like I said, I was frustrated I didn't have a place to dump it. You know, it's like I wanna do it the right thing and not dump it on the ground, but then I'm not driving to Little Falls with used oil. So,
Or Wadena,
or Wadena, yeah, so this would be very nice.
Brown.
Alright,
I'll make a motion to approve
prove
this.
it. Okay, motion
And I
made
would
by Reagan,
second that.
second by Hutchinson. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
I'll be looking for the training check.
Perfect. All right, department, planning and zoning. That'd be you.
Planning and zoning. P and Z has two ordinance amendments that they're recommending the council approve. further down in the agenda under new business, 185 and 186. The one is for keeping of animals, the other one says zoning amendment.
All right, thank you. Fire department.
The calls for the month of March were, we had 7 medicals, 1 good intent, 3 motor vehicle accidents, and 2 fires for a total of 13 calls. We already went through the fire truck, and it's that time of year again. I'm asking for approval to apply for the DNR matching grant. It's a 50/50 grant up to $5,000. Can be spent on tools and equipment.
You guys do that pretty much every year, don't you?
Yes.
All right, looking for a motion to approve them to apply for the DNR matching grant.
I would make that motion.
Motion made by Hutchinson, looking for a second.
I'll second it.
Second by O'Regan. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Have anything else? No? Anybody have anything for them? Fire department? Do we have open for apps now or no?
No, we're sitting pretty good right now.
Okay, good.
We actually had one come back off leave, one's due back any day now, and the 2 new hires, so we're in good shape.
Very nice. All right, police department, Chief Borish.
Okay, had a total of 123 calls for the month, which brings us up to 264 to date. Managed to get in 46.5 hours at the school. Any questions on the monthly report? And that's all I've got this month.
Besides the squad car was laid up for a while.
Squad car was laid up for approximately 10 days. We had some major engine issues with it. Hopefully it's all taken care of. I've had to bring it back a couple of times since I got it back, but I think they've got all the little things fixed on it now, but
Good, so it's running good. All right, anybody have anything for the police department? All right, public works, Bruce.
Okay, page 32 is my report. As you can see in wastewater, we struggled this month for a while, and at the last minute, we got a couple good samples in, brought the average down. Got any questions on that?
No.
Moving ahead, the well repairs. Our old well, we've been using it pretty regular here, but the new one was down. With this tower painting thing coming up, in 2016, when that pump locked up, or when the motor locked up, they recommended about 2 years we replaced the pump, and it was getting pretty wore, and the drop pipe at the same time. Now we've been about 3 years, and it's definitely showing that the pump is slowing down, it's getting less output on it. And that's the well that has the generator hookup if we have something happen while we're painting the tower. So I'm thinking we should maybe get this all serviced up and ready to go. I got 2 estimates here. Both are good companies. Trout is, they're the ones that did the motor last time. Tyne did the drop pipe. Either one of them is capable of it. So I guess I'd go with the lower priced one. But
Okay.
It looks like trout.
Trout, yeah.
Somebody wanna make a motion to approve to get those fixed and get them in the company?
I'd make a motion that we accept the bid from Trout Companies. The amount of what, $77,071?
Okay.
I'll second that.
The first motion made by O'Regan, second by Carlson. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, next thing, the city of Pillager asked if we were interested or we willing to rent our street sweeper out to them. So I told them I would bring that forward and talk to you. That's about
You know, I was thinking, theirs are looking pretty bad. I was actually thinking about that. That's funny.
They said they hired somebody, I think it was last year, and they weren't totally happy with it. And previous to that, they were renting a skid steer and a broom and doing it that way, but they had dust complaints and that kind of thing. So whether we wanna do that or not is up to you guys, I guess.
How do you feel?
I don't know. It's, how do you, if something breaks down or, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that our street sweeper's got a lot of miles on it, don't it?
It's only got 12,000 miles, but for a street sweeper, it's
But we-
6,000 hours.
Street sweeper,
but-
that's.
We've done without for a long time, so I
Yeah.
think we should cherish it.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
it's nice to have it, I don't
it's
know.
totally up to you. I just told them I'd bring it forward.
I'd like to help them out, but I have real concerns. I mean, that's street sweeper
Yeah.
and getting it over there, just getting it over there and getting it back would be an issue.
Yeah, they'd have to drive it. And we got one tire that's a little weak on it. It's all right for in town, but
But then if they get in a crash, somebody could rear ends them, then who's liable?
yeah,
All of that would have to go, we'd have to have something drafted up by
It
the
just sounds like
attorney
it's
and
too
reviewed and.
complex for me, I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I know the last couple years, like you said, they had an outfit, I believe, I wanna say Long Prairie, Park Rapids, somewhere like that, a guy that would come over and do it.
they did have the guy that we used to use at one time,
Okay.
and I think last year they used the one out of Brainerd to just bought a sweeper last year. He's new in the business, so maybe that's why they didn't get good results. He was still learning. But it is a process to learn the thing, and it takes a little while to get used to all the buttons.
Well, would
and
they
stuff.
even know how to,
Well, I used to run our old one, but that was back when it was all mechanical levers, and now we're all push buttons and things like that. So I'm sure you learn, but how long it would take to.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess at this point, I would rather see it not go over there, but.
I'm with you on that, yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Do you want us to make a motion, or are you just good enough the council said no?
It's good enough that
Okay.
you don't have to make a motion unless you'd like to.
Okay. Next item, we got some of them totes, and I had somebody contact me and wanted to know if I'd sell a quantity for less, 20 of them for $20 a piece rather than the 50. I always sold 8 of them, I guess, 2 weeks ago or so. So it's totally up to you. I'm all right with sitting on them. I told them I would bring it forward.
Are we having any trouble selling them at 50 bucks a piece?
Well, no, I mean, they're not flying off the shelves, but during the garage sales, we'll set a couple out and just get some more publicity out there,
If
yeah.
they're selling at 50, I'd keep selling them at 50 myself.
Yeah.
How many you got sitting there?
It must be about 15 right now.
I know I want a few, so I'll get some, but
Yeah.
I think 20, he'll be making money on them, so I don't know why we would do that.
Yeah.
If it's $5 a piece or $3 a piece, maybe I would consider it, but this much, no. I think it's too cheap.
I just told them I'd tell the council.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Okay, small cell wireless. I see in the League of Minnesota Cities bulletin, they had a story about this, and they said if the city fails to adopt or publish it by April 15th, it maybe lose the ability to impose any aesthetic standards on telecommunication users that deploy small wireless facilities in the city. I don't know that there's a need for it right now, but I would rather see us adopt something or a policy on it, so later on we can, if we do decide we don't want them sticking 6 of them in front of whatever, you know, we have some kind of policy in place that, you know, we don't lose that ability, so that's why that's in there. They see help with making it something that's pretty generic, but it's kind of, it seems like it was taken from another city, but it seems like it's pretty in-depth, and maybe it'd cover us in case we need it, and if we don't, you know,
At least it's
if they
there.
challenge it, we can discuss it a case by case at that time, or change it, but at this point, I think it's probably good to adopt it just in case, and so we don't lose that possibility.
Now, what are they exactly talking about with these?
It sounds like they're,
Are
I
they
don't
like
know.
antennas or something?
Well,
Or
on page
they-
39, there's some pictures of
See
them.
pictures of them there.
Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to get more and more localized areas, and
Yeah, we don't have anything like that, right?
No.
not at this time.
Oh, okay, so this
But-
is just preventative if something.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it has some kind of standards in place, so if
Okay.
they do decide to come into town, they can't say, well, stick them wherever I want, it's public property.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think a year or two ago, the state made it legal that they can come to town and put them up, so.
Yeah.
it's good that we-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have some say over what they look like if they ever do come
Okay.
doing
I
it.
see.
And if we don't get something in place by April 15th of this month,
Yeah.
we lose the right to,
That's the way
likely
I
lose the
read
right to put
Yeah.
anything in place.
Potentially, yeah, that's the way I read it, so I just thought it'd be a good insurance
That was a
policy.
good catch.
Yeah. That was. Okay, looking for a motion to approve, adopt that,
I'd make the motion to adopt this as presented.
okay, small cell wireless facility policy.
I'll second that.
All right, first one made by O'Regan, second by Carlson. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, last thing on their list is nuisance, do you wanna do it or should I? It don't matter. We went into inspection around town, it's pretty early in the season, things are still thawing out and stuff, so it looks pretty in-depth at this point. I personally think we should maybe look at, sending out some notices to ones that have stuff in their yard that can utilize citywide cleanup, just a reminder that it's coming up and maybe you can take care of some of this stuff ahead of time, and then if that doesn't happen, then maybe later on, we follow up and see if it,
So I notice there's a lot of them.
yeah, well, you know, it's.
Some of these are kind of vague. I mean, some of these ain't much though, right? I mean,
Yes,
they
yeah.
look like
Yeah, it's,
maybe this or that, but
we're trying to be consistent,
Right.
anything that fit under there,
I just don't wanna,
we don't wanna piss them off either, I mean,
Right,
we just
yeah.
kinda wanna,
the whole city to come up to our meeting.
you know, some of these, just let them know, you see you got some mattresses in your yard, maybe citywide cleanup is coming up, maybe you wanna utilize that.
Right, be a good time to utilize it or whatever.
So Bruce, are you thinking on the letters to kind of point out the things? Is that what you're?
If it's not a big deal, I mean, a blanket letter, copy and paste or something, just
Yeah.
the items we seen there, I mean, it might not be so bad. And not everyone's gonna need a letter, I guess, I mean.
Yeah.
Who's gonna decide who's getting a letter and who's not?
Well, I would say like a roof condition.
Are you gonna go through the list?
We wouldn't, but if it's, yeah, I can.
I'm just saying, like, I haven't seen them, I'm not out there,
Yeah.
I don't,
But if they got a couch in the yard, yeah, I'd say we, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And maybe,
Like there's one with citing here, you wouldn't give them a letter because that had nothing to do with cleanup.
yeah, exactly, yes.
I guess I just think, you know, I know myself, I have some stuff on there and being the time of year, it's hard because we can't get out and clean them up yet.
Exactly.
I just think if we send it out, I don't have a problem with it. I just think we should be very careful with our wording and
Yep.
try to encourage the cleanup without, you know, even the whole nuisance.
Yeah. In years
Word
past, it
sounds
seemed like we didn't
negative.
get around to it till after the cleanup day and we didn't know about it, so.
Yeah, so it's a
We
gr-
couldn't use it, so
Yeah, you're
that's why
right,
we did it
it's a
ahead of
great
time.
reminder, yeah.
And it's just so early to try